Leslie Day-Harrell, Senior Vice President of Corporate Real Estate with Jackson Healthcare. Jackson Healthcare is a family of companies, currently 16 different companies that provide staffing, permanent placement, technology solutions for hospitals. So we expanded our corporate campus really out of the sheer need to accommodate more associates. Year over year, we've had a tremendous growth. Growth of the company means an expansion of associates, and expansion of associates means we need a place to house everyone. We knew we needed to build in order to house the future growth of our companies. The most important things about this project for not only for Jackson Healthcare, but for me personally, was to create an environment that really embodied our vibrant culture. We wanted to make sure that this wasn't just going to be an office building. We needed to make sure that we created a way to ensure that our associates still felt connected, even though we were creating a completely different physical structure. So there was a very, very overarching concern on how to ensure that we kept everyone unified. That is tantamount to our culture. This was anything but just an office building for us. And we had to get every component of that exactly right. Choate helped us overcome a lot of our fears. They were very forthright with us with what they perhaps had not done before, but they said, but we're going to figure out how to do it. We're going to make it beautiful. We're going to make it exactly how you want it. It's going to be an exact replication, exactly per design, and we're going to do it economically for you. And so the fact that they were just very transparent with some of the things that we were asking for, if they were far out of the wheelhouse of what's normal in the industry, which there were a lot of things like that we asked for, they were very open about the challenges that would surround that. But then they would back that up immediately with, but here's how we can overcome that. Or they would provide us with alternatives, things to think about. We usually ended up doing it the way we wanted to, but they always gave us a full outlay of, all of the what ifs with the decisions that we were trying to make. So that really did help take a lot of the concern away that we had with these many different challenges that came in front of us. The growth of our company just continued to accelerate, and we knew that we had to meet a very specific timeline in order to get our associates moved in, because we were bursting at the seams in our other two buildings where we had our associates located. And so the meeting schedule was an absolute crucial and critical part of this job. Very first day we broke ground, it rained. And so we thought, oh dear, I hope this is not going to be a foreshadowing of what's to come with this. And it actually was. We ended up having 139 rain days, which Choate could have absolutely, said, but we're extending the contract by 139 days. I will tell you, they met the original day. And what that means is that Choate continued to work when they safely could, and they did not use that as an excuse to not meet the deadline. They were determined. They made commitments on the front end that they would be on budget and on time. And they did both of those. From a material perspective, with the Italianate architectural style that we designed, there were a lot of components that had to come from various places across the world. And so, of course, that created more challenges with time delays. I don't know how Choate managed to get delivery times for some of the elements and materials that they did, but we got some incredible materials in very reasonable time periods, which we did not think was possible. We had, again, some of the challenges of this project. The pool that we had over the kitchen required a special level of knowledge, craftsmanship, and expertise to really be able to pull that off. But we did it. Choate did it, and we feel so great about all of the preventive and precautionary measures that they took to ensure that we would never have problems with that down the road. Doing this development on an occupied campus was yet another challenge that got layered over the top of a million other challenges that we already presented to Choate. And we had a very strong edict given to us that basically we needed to ensure that we did not inconvenience the associates any more than what was absolutely necessary. They were so thoughtful and so careful in all of the planning that they did, knowing that our associates need to come into work every day. They still need to be able to successfully drive, onto campus, park, not be inconvenienced, not have loud noises during the peak part of the day. They went to great measures to ensure that they met all of our requests when it came to creating an environment that was safe for our associates. They took the One Life safety program very, very seriously. We have a very similar program with Jackson Healthcare, and so we honored all of the requests that they had and very much respected the safety that they wanted to ensure for all of the Choate employees and the subcontractors. We obviously wanted the same for our associates as well. So we had to figure out how to coexist over a 2-year span of time on a relatively small parcel of land. And Choate just went above and beyond in every measure when it came to that. They accommodated, they modified schedules for us in order to accommodate special needs that we had. If we had big meetings going on, they were the first to modify, bring different subs in on different days to accommodate our ever-changing requests that we had with the schedule, and they still managed to meet schedule at the end of the day. Life on the Jackson Healthcare campus is exhilarating, it's exciting, it's beautiful, it is all-encompassing. It literally feels like you're in Italy when you're here, and it's so exciting. It creates a remarkable experience for everyone that comes here, associates that see it every day, for our guests that come on campus. We have family members that come all the time because they're just so proud and so excited to show family where they work, and that has not waned whatsoever since this building was completed in January of 2019. Truly, it creates a remarkable experience. You just feel good when you come in every day. We think this is a huge attraction tool for us. When people come on campus, they immediately want to work here. They want to stay here. And so it did everything that we wanted it to do. It created connection, excitement, and just beautiful experiences every day. And they will continue from this point forward. It's provided us with growth for the future. And we're continuing to grow as a company and will so into the future. And this is just a place people want to be. The team that Choate assembled for the Jackson Healthcare campus expansion, I could tell immediately that they all had an existing relationship with one another. They just intuitively knew what the other was thinking. They were very clear on everyone's swim lanes and what everyone's area of expertise was. And the fact that they knew how to communicate so well with each other allowed them to communicate very effectively with us as the owner. We did a lot of pre-construction meetings. Choate was just really phenomenal in that regard, that they spent a lot of time with us talking through concepts and ideas so that we didn't get too far down the design path, before ensuring the constructability of what we were discussing and designing in our minds before we put it on paper. And so that was a really, really helpful service that they were so accommodating to us prior to construction starting. Once construction, really from that point forward, we had a minimum of weekly meetings. Sometimes it was daily meetings that we had, so it kept everyone very aligned and structured. Choate was fantastic about communicating, sending out agenda notes, follow-up notes, subcontractor notes. All of the different technology platforms allowed us to be able to see, real-time drawings, updates to the drawings, interacting with that. The Revit program that Choate utilized, again, made any sort of impediments more visible for us, and that was a really, really helpful tool that was used. We're a very visual group of people, and so it was very helpful when we could actually see things in 3D, and so that was super helpful. So they came with really state-of-the-art technology, which took it from an old pen and paper format style to more technology driven, which was really helpful. We just had access to anything and everything that we needed from the dial-up of a computer or an iPad. Choate took a very different approach. It was really about the individuals, the contributors, and the relationships that they were trying to form in the community, and that was very, very apparent. They wanted to make a significant impact in the community and their neighborhood, and knew that this was going to be a marquee, a real hallmark of Alpharetta, and they wanted to be a part of that since this was pretty much in their back door. So again, there was a very, very quick value alignment with their company and with Jackson Healthcare. We knew that we believed the same things, cherished the value in each other and with the associates that we hire and that Choate hires, and that was just instantaneous. There was such a connection there, and if you don't get the relationship side of this right, the transaction side doesn't matter. Anyone can come build. Some do it better than others, but not everyone can form a relationship and a connection with you where they understand what it is that you need, what your overarching goals are, and your goals are what matter, not what the general contractor thinks you should have. They listened, they cared, they have creative and constructive feedback for us every step of the way, even in the bid meeting. So they weren't a bunch of yes men going, oh yeah, we can do this, we can do that. Of course, they did say, we can do whatever you need us to do. Here are some of the challenges. And I appreciated that honesty. So that won the work for them. It was just an immediate, I knew, and out of the 5 general contractors that we bid this out to, I knew immediately Choate was the one. And I had never worked with Choate before, but I will again.